Welcome everybody. My name is Sarah Grace and I'm the founder of Somatic Sanctuary. I'm a somatic experiencing practitioner, a registered biodynamic cranial sacral therapist, authorized continuum movement teacher, and I have a passion and love for supporting the pre and perinatal attachment facilitation therapies. And I've really focused my work over the last 20 years on helping new moms and dads and families to welcome their newborn into the world in nonviolent and safe and really healthily bonded ways. So I've worked with Ray Castellino for many years and Myrna Martin, Judith Weaver. These are my pre and perinatal mentors and teachers. I have a very deep connection and have studied continuum movement for almost 20 years as well. Emilie Conrad, the late Emilie Conrad, having been my main teacher for 10 years. So in this dive, during this really challenging time that we find ourselves within this time of planet Earth and everything that's happening with the pandemic and a global crisis really, I wanted to offer a way to really ground and find resilience in these times of challenge. What I often do in Continuum is come back to again and again this resting in the three centers. So it helps me to establish ground and land into the earth herself. We use sound in Continuum to yield down into the earth and into our tissues, so to awaken the body, the fluid system, subtle movements and sensation. Often when we have stress or trauma in our body, the tissue locks in and really collapses into itself in a way that the body can still store fear. So in this practice, we offer the body another option, an option to breathe again, to feel, to explore a quality of feeling safe in the body and tissues, allowing breath to re-enter and re-commune inside. There's a time when, have you ever witnessed or experienced or maybe even watched a video of a wild animal where they come into some contact with a predator and they have to move away from the predator to feel their ground again and shake off and really detox from the fear that got lodged in their system. So in Continuum, we get to give ourselves this opportunity. We get to shake off very gently any fear, any trauma that may have come in over our lifetime, our experience in these recent chapters of what's been happening on the earth. So here we get an opportunity to dissolve fear and shock, open up a pathway that's more awakened and slow in its rhythms, more fluid in its nature, and more alive in the sense of, at this moment now, I am safe. That tiger that was running after me is not here right now. Maybe it never was. But when the trauma is tight in the body, it can feel like experiences really shock us and shake us to the core. So here we get to give ourselves a moment of, at this time, I am safe. And the body can dismantle its structure of fear and remember a sense of peace, safety. I am safe in this moment and my body can now digest that right now everything is okay. So we take the time in Continuum to pause, to explore sound and breath, and to really allow for our birthright of freedom to move through our tissues again. So I want to welcome you to this mini dive. Really, it's just a resting into the three centers. The lower dantian, low belly, the heart space, and then the head space. How we rest into the earth and reorganize around the feeling of being held by gravity and held by our Earth Mother. And we allow the nervous system to downregulate and come back into a sense of, I am safe here, now. So in this dive, I'll introduce a sound that we use, quite a common sound in Continuum. We call this sound the puffed O, or the blown Om. And what we'll do is allow this sound to land into the body and into the tissues, to have ourselves and our awareness land inside of ourselves. So the sound, instead of projecting out like a toning or a performance, it's really going in and down. So it's like I'm playing my body like a didgeridoo. And I let the sound penetrate in and down into my tissues. So the blown Om, or the puffed O, is where I puff my cheeks. And I'm going to be, in my mind's eye, it's like I'm blowing out a candle, but really, again, the sound comes in and down, but just a little air comes out of the mouth. So you puff your cheeks, and you'll make an O-ish sound. It'll sound something like this. So the sound itself is spherical. It has a tubular and spherical 360-degree dimensionality to it. So the sound will awaken tissue very much like really an aquatic creature, like let's say a jellyfish or an octopus. It has this undulatory awakening to it, yeah? So the sound in this dive, I'm going to penetrate in with my fingers like tuning forks in towards my low belly, dantian, hara center, the heart area, and then the cranium. So I'll lie down and we enter into baseline. And this baseline is where we really take note of our body in a shavasana position, just a surrendered open into the earth, where we track breath, tissue yield into the earth, and our connection to the earth. So that tissue yield, like I was saying, when the body is in fear, we pull up away from the earth. After even a mini dive like this, the body gets to, remember, I don't need to pull up and away from this tiger or relationship or news that I'm watching on the media. I can soften now. I can return back to, again, right now, it is safe. So the sound helps us to reorient into a here-nowness. And the body and the soma and the fluids and the organs and the systems get to respond to that. And the cells, of course, these 70 trillion cells that make up you, that make up me, get to remember, we can rest. We can return to our naturalness of health and restore and repair. And again, dance and elixirs that are healthy, the biochemistries of life that bring us into health and healing. and really balanced hormones. Okay? So enjoy this dive. I'll meet you in baseline, just a laying down position, landing on the earth and taking a moment to really land in this moment with me. So here we are in baseline, and just resting down into the earth. And tracking the 3 themes of baseline. Breath, where my body is breathing and where perhaps it's not. My connection to earth, how the earth is rising up to meet me, and how my body contacts the earth. And then tissue yield into the earth. Where is my tissue pulling up and away from the earth? And where are my tissues landing down into the earth? Feeling the support of the earth. So there's no judgment here, but just a taking an intake of how is my body resting and perhaps not resting on the earth. So this dive is for finding resource and resilience in times of challenge. So at any point in your week or day, just come to lay surrendered on the Earth Mother, and take a baseline and a reference intake of your body. Where am I in relation to the earth? And the resting into the 3 centers again, the low belly, lower dantian, womb, hara space. This really is such a sacred space for all of the great traditions, the Eastern traditions, the Taoist philosophies, the realms of Qigong and Tai Chi and yoga. This is where the sea of Qi reside within the body. So we get to fill this area again with its effervescent life force. The seed of creation really lands in the low belly space. We'll offer the space 3 puffed O sounds, the blown Om. Then we'll move to the heart, the area of the heart. 3 sounds. And then the area of the cranium. 3 sounds. So resting in the 3 centers. So my fingers act like tuning forks, and I penetrate the sound into the low belly area, down into the sacrum, and even down into the earth. The sound knows no boundary. So the sound penetrates the tissue and even down into the earth. For my lower dantian, low belly, to rest and take up residency into the earth more. So it'll sound and look something like this. Om. 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 So it's like tossing a pebble into a pond. I toss the pebble of sound into my soma, and then I wait and receive the ripples, movements of fluid, awakening tissue. Taking a moment of pause in between each sound just to receive. So just notice the undulate that moves through my body. Tissue receiving sound, coming out of fight, flight, and reorienting to a more settled current, a deeper tapestry of my own embodiment, landing into the soma, receiving and filling this sacred space of my own soul. And then moving up to the heart space and offering the heart space these three sounds. And our sacred heart is filled and protected by a double-walled, membranous we can say it's a protective sac, really. A double membrane called the pericardium that is filled with pericardial fluid. So the heart itself is bathed and protected in fluid. So as I offer the sound into the heart space, I allow the heart to become anointed and bathed by sacred sound and awakened fluid. Just letting the sound ripple and open through the heart space. Letting breath take up its nourished movement once more in the body. Unlocking. wave-like motion moves through, where my system knows it's safe. I am safe. You are safe. And the cranium, here you can make contact with your face or just above the neck, cupping under your occipital ridge, or the jaw. Can I invite you to place your hands where you feel the most comforted. So just allowing the sound of the puffy O to enter spaciously into the cranium, and then traveling and descending down through the back of the head into the earth. So you'll play with the 3 puffed O sounds here. Very spaciously in the cranium. You want the brain to have a lot of space. Cranium resting down into the earth through the sound. So just allowing the sound to be received by the body, taking us out of threat response and returning back to the rest and repair, naturalness of our being. 80% of our time in our day should be in the rest and settle. Only 20% in the activated sympathetic. So many of us have it reversed. So we offer these sounds as a way to offer safety into the 3 centers. I allow myself to feel the sensations of resource, warmth, expansion, softness, breath and breadth, deepening, slowing down, longer, wider, expansion. These are the qualities that remind me I'm safe. So after the 3 sounds at each center, returning back into a place of baseline, just allowing for a moment of open attention, perhaps subtle movements arise, breath deepens, lengthens. Coming into a place of stillness, landing more deeply on the earth. If the gurgles of the belly show itself, just allow the gurgles. It's just showing your body that the parasympathetic presence is taking refuge now. The body can rest, heal and repair. The hypervigilance can let go. And I can land here now in presence and peace.